Blaine, like, dude, you got to calm down, bro.
Well, the game got pushed back because of how late
the game happened before.
And it only got pushed back an hour.
And I haven't seen video footage of it, so I don't want to say it's 100% true, but after watching some of this stuff, they say that Kevin O'Sullivan was saying stuff to East Carolina players who were walking across the field. This dude just went nuts. Well, we've already had a ton of craziness in the college baseball postseason on the road to Omaha. And I'm going to be honest with you, a lot of what Kendall Rogers said on our big postseason preview, you can go back and check that out, has come to fruition. But we still do not have all the answers yet, as we have a couple games left, some big-time matchups tonight to see who will advance to the Super Regionals. Some teams have made it. We know some teams who are hosting other teams, but there are still, guys, so many big games left out there. David Cohn, former Michigan quarterback to my left. Blaine Crain, former Western State, Colorado wide receiver to my right. And I just want to set the scene for the games tonight quickly on what we have to let our audience know what's still out there. So North Carolina and Oklahoma, these are all do or die. All right, so there's no, you win this one, you go to the Supers, you lose it, you go home. North Carolina and Oklahoma, that's in the Chapel Hill Regional. Doesn't mean that North Carolina will be the home team, but that's in the Chapel Hill Regional. USC and 8 overall seed Oregon State, going to play at 5 p.m. That first game's at 2. Also at 5 p.m., Murray State and Ole Miss. Ole Miss ran Murray State out of the building last night. Going to be an interesting one as the Racers have put themselves in a really nice position. Wake Forest and Tennessee, also at 5 o'clock tonight. Wake Forest, big walk win last night against Tennessee. We'll see if the Vols are able to turn it around and get to the Supers, where they would have to go play Arkansas, which would be an elite series in itself. Then LSU and the Little Rock. Little Rock last night beat LSU, I think, 10-4. Little Rock went 19-32 during the regular season and are now 1 win away. Wow. And as our buddy Peter Burns, who's an LSU fan at the SEC Network, said, and I agree with him 100%, either Little Rock will lose this game by 20 runs, or this will be the most devastating postseason loss in the history of LSU baseball. And then the last one, Miami and Southern Miss in the Hattiesburg Regional. That one is at 8 o'clock p.m. tonight. Just quickly, the guys that have punched their ticket, Auburn and Coastal Carolina will be playing in Auburn for the Super Regional, both those teams. UTSA will be going to UCLA. UTSA beating Texas.
Little brother all grown up.
Twice, and they beat them during the regular season, I believe, to advance out of that regional. So those two are set. But guys, really, outside of that, we know Arizona's going. They're going to face the winner of North Carolina, Oklahoma. FSU is going to face the winner of Oregon State, USC, Louisville, which I picked to come out of the Vandy region. We'll play the winner of Southern Miss and Miami, and then Arkansas, like I said, Tennessee, Wake, Duke, Ole Miss, Murray State winner, and Cone. There's some stuff we're going to react to here, but just so far, what do you think?
I love the format. That's the thing that stands out the most to me. I just absolutely love the format. Exciting weekend of baseball. The Oklahoma State walk-off home runs really the entire ninth inning for Oklahoma State against Georgia, after Georgia was really chirping them all game. 2-run bomb to tie it up in the ninth inning, and then a 2-run home run to walk it off. That one was particularly interesting, but I've enjoyed the whole tournament so far. I do want to find out what the deal is with the Florida baseball coach from you.
Oh yeah,
so at some point, break down the whole situation.
We're going to get into that. We have clips that I think we actually have the Oklahoma State home runs in the ninth inning here.
The 0-1. Drive to left, going back, still going back, to the fence, it's gone! Oklahoma State wins!
And guys, I mean, look, I got a lot of respect for Duke, who ended up winning that Georgia regional, but I was so surprised the way that it went down and kind of, how Georgia was put out, because they were all over that Oklahoma State pitcher. But as you can see, the home runs there for Georgia to get put out. But Blaine, I mean, biggest story, Vandy, obviously going down as the #1 overall seed, but UTSA,
how about
Texas, really beat their ass.
Yeah, college baseball is such a different type of sport. I know when you look at other sports, you have a bunch of NIL money, pay a bunch of guys, and you can be good, but no team is just going to be a walkthrough in college baseball in regionals. Like at UTSA, they all might not be making $1 million, but I promise you, they all have probably been there for 3 to 4 years. work this pitching, lefties, righties. They know who they are. They're structured. How you play small ball, how you win in baseball can be a lot different ways than how you win in a lot of sports. You don't have to have all the talent to go far in college baseball.
Let's talk about something that separates the men from the boys. And I'm just talking about the gridiron. I'm talking about your health. Now, this isn't your grandpa's Centrum either. This is the Emerson multivitamin from Responsible Man. Now, I know what you're thinking. Jake, I eat my Wheaties, I'm good. But if you're not giving your body the fuel it needs every single day, then you're not good. You're not ready for game day. And the Emerson multivitamin is packed with 33 key ingredients that support your body and give it the energy you need. And new for this season, Responsible Man just launched Theodore Protein. That's right. With 25 grams of clean, American-made protein powder, it's fuel for men who lead, protect, and show up strong. Hold that bad boy up there. Because there's no soy and there's no shortcuts. And American men, we're on average 30 to 50 grams of protein short, but 2 inches taller than everybody else. So we got to fix that. That gap adds up to leading fatigue, sore recovery, and muscle loss over time. A quality protein supplement like Theodore helps close the gap fast, clean, and strong. Plus, Responsible Man's a Daily Wire's Ventures company. So you know these vitamins and protein are made right here in the good old US of A. No cheap imports, no tricks, no outsourcing. Just good old American quality that George Washington would be proud of. Now, I wouldn't endorse this if we didn't believe in it. This vitamin is part of our daily routine, just like watching game tape. It's my secret for living a long and healthy life and staying jacked and tan for my wife. Didn't mean for that to rhyme, but it did. So here's the deal. Right now, you can take advantage of Responsible Man's Father's Day sale and get your first order for 50% off. That's half off. So just head over to responsibleman.com. Use our code BOOSTER at checkout. But hurry, this deal won't last long. Go to responsibleman.com. Then the code's going to pop up and you put BOOSTER, BOOSTER, for 50% off and 100% protein goodness. Well, and UTSA's head coach, after the first time they beat Texas in the regional, I thought he made a really good point. He's like, look, at UTSA, we're never going to get the best player or the best couple players out of the state of Texas. But that next group, that next tier, if we could get that player, is still a really, really good ball player that we can develop. And then he looked at his AD and went, now it'd help if we got some more NIL money, and kind of winked at the AD, and that was a funny moment. Then they beat Texas again. Okay, now I'm going to need that check. I'm going to need us to get to whatever. There's got to be some UTSA alumni that figured out or invented something, or somebody's got an app or some car that runs on water or something. We need some of that NIL money at UTSA, but it's massive, Cone. It's shocking to see these upsets. Little Rock and LSU, guys, I'm telling you right now, if Little Rock beats LSU twice to win their regional, that would be one of the biggest upsets in the history of college baseball to me. Because, LSU's...
Little Rock almost didn't make their conference tournament.
I know. They went 19-32 in the regular season. It's just, to your point, baseball is crazy. But, Cone, to the point you made about the Florida Coastal Carolina situation, and I want to set up the context here. So, what's crazy about this is it wasn't that Florida was playing Coastal Carolina. This wasn't like it's a rivalry between the head coach at Coastal Carolina and the head coach at Florida, even though their first names both is Kevin. So Florida is in an elimination game playing East Carolina to see who would play Coastal Carolina, right, in the championship matchup in the regional. Well, the game time got moved an hour from like 12 p.m. to 1 p.m. So Florida's coach, Kevin O'Sullivan, who's won a national championship, who a lot of other coaches look up to, and I'm going to get to this press conference from the Coastal Carolina coach, he goes on an absolute tear and just rips to shreds the assistant AD at Coastal, rips to shreds the grounds crew, the NCAA affiliate, and the legendary coach at Coastal Carolina. And here is a clip. All right, you can tell this is guerrilla footage here, but here's a clip of Kevin O'Sullivan ripping into this individual. Let's go ahead and play it. Those bleeps are Fs.
1 hour's gonna make a difference. I'm sorry, Mark. I appreciate you.
This is before they're going to play East Carolina.
So he's ripping this dude out while Zach Brown's playing in the background.
Yeah, it's the greatest juxtaposition in the history of history.
You got to love Coastal Carolina.
Oh, for sure. I was just up there. We're at North Myrtle Beach, man. Conway's not that far away.
All right, so you're telling me this is, he's talking to like the administrators at Coastal Carolina.
Dude, he got everybody.
I heard he said something to like one of his players about having a whiteboard or something.
No, dude.
That's what he was responding to in his post-game press.
This whole situation had been like bubbling up because there were some things prior. The whiteboard thing, and look, we hear like how to put a chip on your shoulder in football, like Kirby Smart convincing the Georgia players. Everybody thinks they're going to go 7-5, this, that, or the other. There were some things that led up to this point, but to get this upset over a game being moved an hour back, there has to be something that started this before. That you're talking about, the kid with the robot leg with the whiteboard in the dugout that was meme-ified everywhere. But the fact that you went this nuts, and that's just the footage of him going off on one guy. There's other footage of him going off on the Coastal guy on the field, like the assistant AD. Blaine, like, dude, you got to calm down, bro.
Well, the game got pushed back because of how late the
game happened before.
And it only got pushed back an hour.
Yeah, from 12 to 1.
And first of all, I'm pretty sure Coastal Carolina has really probably nothing to do with this. This is probably the NCAA's decision.
And that's why he went after the NCAA.
But not only, but he went after the Coastal guys, too. Like, they could do anything.
Well, he went after the grounds crew for Coastal. Because remember, Coastal was not playing Florida in this game. Florida was playing East Carolina. And I haven't seen video footage of it, so I don't want to say it's 100% true, but after watching some of this stuff, they say that Kevin O'Sullivan was saying stuff to East Carolina players who were walking across the field. This dude just went nuts.
If they couldn't play because the other game was still going on, then how is it even the NCAA's fault?
No, so the game went so late.
The night before.
There's a rule. There's like an NCAA rule. You have to wait a certain amount of hours for the next day to be able to play. And we saw
this. But it's a rule that's already in place.
That's already in place.
It's not like the NCAA just came up with it.
No, it's not like somebody waved a magic wand and said, it's 6.5 hours. That's it. No. So you're going nuts about something that is out of everybody's control. Which is, and Coastal Carolina's coach, you got to stand on business. And he stood up for his guys. Let's go ahead and play the Coastal Carolina head coach talking about Kevin O'Sullivan from Florida. Let's play it.
One last thing I have is I have to say this, and I don't know if I'm supposed to say this or not, but I believe in standing up for what's right, and what transpired this morning on our field. Another coach disrespected our associate AD, who works as hard as anybody in our entire program. He disrespected our field crew, who are the salt of the earth. These guys would do anything for our program. It's not okay. And this needs to be brought up. Absolutely disrespectful. As a coach, it's our job to mentor young kids. And the way he treated the 2 site reps, the way he treated our associate AD, the way he treated our field crew is absolutely unacceptable.
Wow, good for him.
Bro, you can tell he's furious too. You can see like the neck starting to roll up. But dude, what? Like, look, I get everybody. I got as hyped as anybody in the world before games and before big games, Cone. But like, there's a certain way that you treat people, and like having some perspective of you are a leader in that role. And dude, I don't care if it's an hour extra. I don't care if it's 2 hours extra. We're going in here to win this game. I'm not worried about all this stuff on the periphery. Like, but to your point, there's some stuff that had bubbled up. But, dude, you're a national championship winning coach, bro. What are you doing?
I don't know. It seems like he's projecting some of his own insecurities or something with all of these different moments that are coming out. I mean, it seems like 3 or 4 of the different situations we were talking about involve Florida's head coach. Remember, we were talking about this last week, this regional being one of the most competitive in the country, with Florida being one of the few 2 seeds who was favored to win their region. But, man, good for Coastal Carolina's coach coming out and standing on business like that.
For sure. And, look, Coastal's really good. They're going to Auburn, and they're going to give Auburn everything that Auburn wants. I mean, let's not forget, guys, Coastal Carolina's won some big stuff, too. I mean, won a national championship.
Yeah.
Look, I don't know about you guys, but I'm not a fan of bugs in general or bugs in a house. I barely even like the Bugs Life movie.
There's a roach right there.
Yeah, now I'm terrified.
No, it's not.
Oh,
We're
yeah,
not talking about the
yeah, that's
Bugs
exactly.
Life
I see what
movie.
you did there, David. Great job. Pestie provides professional-grade, do-it-yourself pest control at a quarter of the cost of traditional services. Their easy-to-apply kits are customized for your location and pest problems, starting at just $35 per treatment compared to over $800 annually that other companies charge. And Pestie's kit comes with everything you need: a reusable electronic sprayer, a mixing bag, pesticide, gloves, and easy instructions you can knock out in under 10 minutes. It tackles over 100 different bugs, from spiders and ants to roaches and stink bugs. Ooh, gross. Using safe, registered pesticides that are kid and pet friendly and trusted in hospitals and schools across the country. Plus, they stand behind their product with a 100% bug-free guarantee. So if those pesky bugs don't disappear, you get your money back. But as somebody who personally uses it, and we use it here, you're not going to want your money back because it's going to work. And now's the time to protect your home from bugs with Pestie. So go to pestie.com/Crain for an extra 10% off your order. That's PESTIE.com/CRAIN for an extra 10% off. Let them bugs know what's up. It's time to go. I want to move on to one thing in softball here before we kind of put a bow on this. I'm trying to remember if I have ever seen a scenario like this in high-level college baseball or college softball. So just to set the scene here, we're in the Women's College World Series of softball. It's Tennessee and UCLA. All right, Tennessee is up 4-2 in the top of the seventh. There's 2 outs. Remember, they only play 7 innings in softball. So UCLA's got a runner on first, and the UCLA player is going to hit a home run, but watch all the way till the end. Let's go ahead and play the clip.
Looking for a first.
So here we go.
Series.
2 outs. Oh, it's a tank. It's a tank. Okay.
And that's to tie it.
To tie it.
One is whether
Still
or
got to
not
run.
the
So
runner
watch her
touched
at
home
home.
plate on her initial pass. It looks to me like she may have missed it.
She misses the whole plate.
How do you miss home plate?
It's
by her teammates.
Don't even get me started, Cone. Don't even get me started. She misses the plate. Like, you can sit here and we're gonna get into what happened with the review, but watch what they say. Like, okay, so boom, you see back foot, you see front foot.
And was assisted. However, that play is not reviewable according to Appendix G.
Wow.
They can go back and review if you miss a bag, okay? But they can't go back and review if a teammate assisted you back to home plate to go touch a bag, and that's what happened at the end of that.
Yes, because she missed it at first. Celebrate. Goes back and touches it, okay. After. But the rule is, like Blaine said, you can't, and you can only do this if you appeal that they missed the base too. So, it's not just like you can be like, hey.
Is that what they did, though? Did they go and appeal that she missed home plate, and then the footage shows that she did? So what aspect of this even involves her coming back to touch?
Because so think about it. If you're running home, okay, and you slide and you miss home plate, and then you go back and touch home plate before the catcher touches you with the ball, you're safe. Well, so it's the same thing in this scenario of if you come back and touch it, but if
who
somebody
saw that is what I'm asking.
That's what they couldn't review.
If the umpire didn't see her miss home plate live, then he couldn't have been watching her come back to touch home plate.
See, that part I don't know. But what Blaine is saying is, well, you say that was like, well, she went back and touched it. Well, she could have had a teammate grab her and tell her to go back and touch the base, which you can't do. It'd be like the same thing, same scenario. I'm sliding past home plate, I miss it. All right, then the on-deck guy comes and grabs me and throws me back, and I touch the plate before the catcher. You're not allowed to touch him. The coach isn't allowed to touch him.
I guess I'm just asking,
either.
what got reviewed?
So
what did they challenge?
Nothing. Apparently, really nothing got reviewed. They took 10 minutes to say they were reviewing something, but they reviewed nothing.
That checks out.
They reviewed nothing.
That's exactly
which is not surprising.
And so here's where I'm at on it, because I put this out on social media. It was like, well, Tennessee, that's BS. Now, Tennessee went on to win the game, right? They ended up walking it off and winning the game. But to me, first off, how does the umpire not just see that right there, in real time, that the person missed the base? Okay, and then the next thing is, just because you hit a home run, and kudos to her. Some people are like, oh, she hit a home run. It doesn't matter. You shouldn't have to run the bases anyway. Well, if the rule was you didn't have to run the bases, okay, I'd have no problem with it. There we go. It's a home run. It's tie game, 7th inning, whatever. But the rule says you have to hit all the bases. So home plate, or first base, second base, third base, home plate. So those are the rules. If you don't follow the rules, you should be out. Mm-hmm. And I likened it to people were like, again, oh, well, she hit a home run. It really doesn't matter if she hits the base or whatever. So to me, that is like saying, hey, you know what? There's a busted coverage in football. Nobody guarded the Z receiver. He caught it, and he's 70 yards ahead of everybody. Nobody's going to catch him, but he drops the ball right before he crosses the goal line. That's like saying, you know what? Yeah, it's the rules, but nobody was going to catch him. It was a touchdown anyway. Everybody else was 70 yards behind him. Because technically, even though you hit that home run and the ball's out of the park, you are still in the field of play when you are running in the bases. So
I see what you're saying, and she should have been out. But to me, if my team lost like that, I guess it would hurt less because, you still gave up the home run.
For sure.
Right? There's part of it that's like, you got lucky the fact that someone would even make that mistake, just like dropping the football before you cross the end zone.
Luck.
It's like, that's lucky. You want it to be called correctly, but if I'm a fan of that team, I'm like, why are we giving up home runs?
Yeah.
And that's what a lot of people said. Well, don't give up the home run. Okay, don't bust the coverage, but you still drop the ball. Yeah. So, like, again, here's the whole thing. Touch home plate.
Yeah. How do you miss home plate?
You want to talk about the unforced error?
This overly excited has to be.
Well, I get overly excited about a lot. Reed says come upstairs and hang out. I still got to make it up.
It doesn't get any easier for this if you're an umpire. Like, this is so easy for you when you're not calling a strike, you're not calling a ball, you're just watching somebody run around the bases just to touch home plate.
Yeah.
You have one job, and you're up in the World Series. So you have to be one of the best.
Yeah, this isn't the ponytail league in Beulah, Alabama.
You had one job. And you blew it.
Yeah.
And you blew it.
Well, guys, we're going to have a huge super regional preview on Tuesday's show. You don't want to miss that. Obviously, you guys loved what we did in our first postseason preview. So once all the supers are set, we're going to have a preview for you guys. So make sure you hit that like button.
Can we say rest in peace to John Brenkus?
Oh, God. Tony, how did I? Rest in peace to John Brenkus, man. That one, I didn't even know he's battling depression.
I didn't know that either. And I know the guy kind of well. I mean, he's been on our program.
He's been on our show before. I worked
with him in 2018 with Signature Pro.
Sports Science was a banger. I loved Sports Science.
This is genuinely a good guy.
Yeah, it's just...
I enjoyed being around him, his work ethic, his intelligence. I grew up watching Sports Science like most of us did, and he came on our show. He was talking about how steroids impact specifically your baseball swing in Major League Baseball, and he's just a great guy.
Yeah. Well, and our prayers go out to his family. If you know anybody that's battling with that, again, it's a tough deal. So we just, again, want to send out our thoughts and prayers to John and his family and all his friends as well. So thank you guys for joining us. Make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and like the chances of us not being super jacked and tan about the supers almost being set. We're gone.